All right, let's get into one of the most intense and, frankly, terrifying missions in all of Demon Slayer: The Descent into Naragumo Mountain. I mean, this isn't your average demon hunt. This is a deep dive into a literal web of despair, and it pushes our heroes to their absolute limits.
So the whole thing kicks off with just this awful plea. But the real gut punch, the thing that tells you something is deeply wrong here, is who's saying it. That's not a demon. That is a demon slayer, one of their own, begging to be killed just to make the pain stop.
And as Tanjiro and Inosuke push their way into this creepy forest, they see why. They find the source of all this horror. They're fellow slayers. They're trapped. Their bodies are being controlled like marionettes by some unseen enemy, and they're being forced to attack their own friends.
The sheer brutality of it is hard to watch. I mean, with every move they're forced to make, their own bones are breaking and literally piercing their organs. They are fully conscious, trapped inside their own bodies, which have become these weapons that are destroying them from the inside out. It's a living nightmare.
So, what do? That's the impossible situation Tanjiro and Inosuke get thrown into. They're being attacked by slayers trying to kill them, but these are their allies, screaming in agony. If you fight back, you hurt them even more. But if you hesitate for even a second, you die.
So, how do they deal with a crisis like this? Well, this is where we see their personalities just laid bare. They have two totally opposite ways of looking at the problem, and it sets up some really fantastic character growth under, the worst pressure imaginable. And yeah, their core beliefs just slam into each other here. You've got Tanjiro, who's all empathy, right? His first thought is, there's got to be a way to help them. And then you have Inosuke, who is just pure instinct. His logic is simple. They're attacking us, so we smash them and keep moving.
But this is where Tanjiro's mind really shines. He quickly figures out that just slicing the threads is useless. They just reattach a second later. So instead of fighting the slayers, he uses the forest itself. He starts running in patterns, weaving through the trees to deliberately get the strings tangled up, effectively tying them down without hurting them. It's brilliant.
And this is just peak Inosuke. He sees Tanjiro's plan working, and his brain, fueled by nothing but raw competition, goes, "Oh, I can do that too, but better." He immediately starts doing the same thing, yelling the whole time. It's a little bit of comic relief, sure, but it also shows he's not just a dumb brute. He's watching and he's learning.
Okay, so with their comrades tied up and safe for the moment, they follow the threads to the source. And they finally come face to face with the one pulling all the strings for this gruesome puppet show.
And there she is, perched way up high in the web, like a spider in the center of it all. She's this picture of cold, distant control. She doesn't have to lift a finger herself. Her real power is turning other people into her weapons. It's a genuinely terrifying ability.
And right away she raises the stakes. She basically taunts them, saying that the closer they get to her, the stronger her threads get and the more powerful her puppets become. It's the perfect defense, right? To even get to her, you have to fight her puppets when they are at their absolute strongest.
But then, we get the twist. The puppeteer is also a puppet. She's not the real boss here. She's trapped in this horrifying, abusive demon family that was created by another demon named Rui. She's only doing all of this because she is petrified of what Rui and this monster father demon will do to her if she fails. She's a prisoner too.
Now that the controlled slayers are out of the way, the mother demon plays her ace, this huge, headless demon puppet that is just a tank of pure power. This thing is way too strong for either Tanjiro or Inosuke to fight alone, and it forces them into some next-level teamwork.
Okay, the plan they come up with is just wild. Tanjiro spots this tiny weak point, a line from the neck to the armpit, so Inosuke just goes full-on boar rush, drawing its attention. And then, in this moment of pure, beautiful chaos, Tanjiro literally uses his back as a ramp to launch Inosuke flying through the air, getting him the perfect angle to slice right through that weak spot.
And this is such a huge turning point for Tanjiro. He finally sees that behind all the yelling and that boar mask, Inosuke has this incredible instinctual grasp of combat. He's not just charging blindly, he feels the rhythm of the fight, and Tanjiro is really starting to respect that. After that incredible move takes down the headless puppet, Tanjiro finally reaches the mother demon. She knows she's beaten, and what happens next isn't a big, brutal fight, it's something else entirely. It's this moment of totally unexpected empathy.
So instead of just, a normal attack, Tanjiro uses this very special water-breathing form. It's this single, elegant strike, and it's designed specifically for demons who surrender. It gives them a completely painless death. It's an act of mercy, and you know it comes from a boy who sees the humanity left in his own demon sister every single day.
And you see in her final thoughts just how powerful that act of kindness is. For a creature who lived every single moment in terror and agony, this gentle end is a release she never ever thought she would get. Tanjiro's compassion actually breaks through her demonic nature, and she gets to feel peace for just a moment.
And in that single moment of peace, her human memories come flooding back. She remembers what it felt like to be cared for. And as a final thank you for Tanjiro's mercy, she gives him a warning about the real danger on that mountain.
And this right here, this is where everything changes. All the horror they just went through, the powerful demon they just barely managed to defeat, turns out that was just the opening act.
Yeah, let that sink in. They weren't fighting the final boss. They were fighting a terrified middle manager who was just trying to not get torn to pieces by her own boss. The real power on Natagumo Mountain hasn't even shown its face yet.
And there it is, her last words. A warning. One of the 12 Kazuki is on this mountain. And for anyone who doesn't know, the 12 Kazuki are the most powerful demons in existence, second only to the Demon King Muzan himself. The fact that one is here takes this mission from dangerous to very, very likely unwinnable.
So that's the question we're left with. They barely survived the puppet show, but the one actually in charge, the real spider at the center of this web, is on a whole other level. The true nightmare of Natagumo Mountain is just getting started.